Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk empath, and I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I'm just freaking depleted. Well, girl, what's you do, girl? You're gonna start licking, scratching too. Everybody's all itchy, scratchy. That time, huh? Ben is here in the house. Ben said, "Hey, what's up? What's up? I'm being a friend to tell the Annie. I'm a good old boy. That doesn't not mean and no harm." But it's a good dog, yes he is. Yeah, Benny was abandoned at a farmhouse in Trainer, Iowa. So he came to be with me. Anyway, let's see. I made some notes, couple notes this morning. I'm not sleeping at night real good. Real solid. Night before last I had a solid 6. That was cool, but last night and the 3 nights before that, not so good. So I make sure Mom's taken care of during the day, and we just kind of hang out waiting for Mom to get hungry the next time. That's our days these days right now. Anyway, what did I do with today's? There it is. I was listening to a talk this morning. Benny, do not take my pencil. Is on Dolores Cannon's page. She does old interviews. On her page, they post old footage of interviews. Obviously, they're old. Dolores Cannon is still alive in them, and she's passed away a few years ago now. Anyway, what I was thinking of, the lady that was talking about it, she's a experiencer. She's had experiences in different dimensions. You know, we all have. The only thing is people don't recognize them for the simplicity in which they are. Dream states are freaking our spirits experiencing things in different dimensions, looking at our lives now from a higher perspective that we don't see, to put the pieces together that we don't see when we're conscious in 3Dville. And so it's just more pieces of the puzzle. It's just all a puzzle people are trying to put together, and everybody has their own puzzle, you know, and it's all based on their frame of reference and their history and their family's history, and you know, basically, have you been the sum of total of all parts of things that have added or taken, you know, plus or minuses, and that's what society is coming down to. Is it's like fear and faith. They can't be in the same vibrational space. Well, neither can low vibrational things like greed, you know, and you can't have control of other mentality in the same space of unity consciousness. And the woman used the on the talk this morning used the analogy of 2 magnets that detract each other. That force, they can't be in the same space. Just like fear and faith, they can't be in the same space. People can't be fearful and have faith in something bigger than themselves at the same time. They can't. So if they, anyway, so what I see happening is, you know, the control consciousness, control over others has been prevalent in society for years and years and years and years, as long as societies have reigned. It's always won. Might has always been right, and it's always just, you know, killed the little guy, and you know, it's like the masses win, and if you don't agree, then you're against, and just there's been no kind of place for any kind of peace on earth ever. And what's happening is evolution is a thing. Things, nature and otherwise, they progress even us, we're supposed to live to be in our fullest potential. Well, so is Earth, and she's evolving too. The whole planet is evolving right now. We're just along for the ride. And the shamanic resonance is speeding up, and we're speeding up, and all those low vibrational uh, behaviors, they don't fly. They don't fly in the higher dimensions, and that's where the good stuff sits, in the high stuff, and the people that have had any kind of permanence and any kind of set idea that no, there's no UFOs, or there's no, fairies, and there's no Bigfoots and all these stuff. All these different beings live in different dimensions. So the more that you expand your mind and the experience that you have, the more that people are going to be open to see this, and then more and more people are going to see it, because like attracts like, and the more people potential is put into something, the more it grows, and that's why all these fantasy movies and stuff are so big, because that's a shared consciousness, all these thoughts and ideas and storylines. It's just like there's all this information and data that is just exists, and a writer or a storyteller like me or anybody is just a microphone for their own personal spectrum of looking at everything in its encompassment. We're all reporters. We're all here to report on this, how we see things, and there's so much more to life than reporting football stats and these military conflicts that just really are of no use. They're just not useful. And there's a way that Turtle Island was supposed to be back in the 1500s, before the control over others took over this nation. We were doing just fine with our unity consciousness, people living in communal living and all that. People have their own spaces to retreat to, but then, collectively, and people got greedy. People got controlly, and then 500 years later, this is the world we get. This is what we get. How many more people in the world don't have like their basic needs? Because all I see on social media and is people living the best version of their lives, and they spend just like millions on parties and pamphlets, and it's just like there's so much for them to piss away on this other stuff that doesn't even matter, because hey, I never thought I would see the day freaking, I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force, I'm college educated, I have a degree in business information systems, I'll never be without freaking running water or freaking heat. That's just nonsense, Universe said, what? You want to bet? Before I moved out to Oregon, I had dreams that I couldn't get a job, and that I felt like my dreams prefaced my reality is what happened, and now I'm trying to figure out how to rebuild, and it's like, I know all of what my capabilities are. I know, I'm just waiting for the rest of the world to catch up, People want me to take your pictures, I'm glad to take your pictures. People have any IT needs that need to be addressed, and you're in the Oregon area, I'd be glad to help you address your IT needs, Whatever. I'm a jack of all trades. I used to say jack of all tirades, but I started getting less mad. Which brings me to the talk that I listened to earlier. You want me to what? It always comes it comes back to that. Is that we're all just supposed to be freaking these love and light. That's what we all, and to me, I'm an Aries sun, Scorpio moon. That's just all that fluffy la la woo woo stuff. It's kind of annoying to me. I get annoyed when people can't handle their own emotions. It's just, and they're a lot bigger than the circumstances in which they're contending with. I've seen people, I don't know, to each his own. I don't need to get too much into that. My point is that we're all just supposed to be good together, And we live on a planet where people just are not. And as soon as that shift happens, as soon as that change happens, that's when the earth is going to change. You know, as soon as people are 51% more light inside them than shadow. Everyone. As soon as that happens, if that happens, the world is going to be a much different place. You know, they can spend, you know, maybe the budget of the Social Security, and people like my mom that need it, you know, have been living for 10, 15 years. She had a stroke. She was 38. She's been living on her $750 a month, while these people that don't follow the rules keep making up rules to just convolute things, and then they pay themselves like $174,000 to do it. When more people need to start looking at the numbers. I'm often telling people, yeah, $95 million annually is what they place for the House and Senate for 435 people. People are like, I don't do the math. People need to do the math, you know, but they're too busy freaking looking at football. God, I can't wait till that one goes away. And it's not gonna. It's not, because people have to freaking boast their hometown pride, egoic bullcrap, and you know, that even ruins more kids, because they freaking get out, and now all these football players are just so into their ego. When people are never told no, when they're never told no, and they're just always given whatever they want, because, you know, they want to be swayed to go to this school or that school or play for this team or that team, you know, their ego gets out of control. So when, like, their girlfriends say no or whatever, that's why you get the freaking puke Vicks, and you get the freaking dudes that like to throw their girlfriends around because they're big men, you know, because they are in the field. Because just ask them, they'll tell you. So it's all that stuff, man. All that misogynistic stuff is coming down, and I frankly don't really care. You know, and it'll all go away by itself, because the gluttons are just going to start having heart attacks and fall away, you know. The ones that really have allowed their blessings to spoil them, you know. But what are you gonna do? Just try and keep your own side of the street clean. And it's one of my, and yeah, I keep going back to, I'm just supposed to freaking be the light in the world. Like, I'm supposed to be the good parts of the day when I go out to do laundry in stores and stuff like that. And that's my contribution to maybe that tilting that shift a little bit. So every day that I can do that without being a freaking jerk and being in my ego, because I can do that just as easy too, then that's, I don't know, that's my challenge for each day. But we always, hopefully, God willing, and the creek don't rise, we get an opportunity each day to live more in spirit and less in ego. So anyway, that's all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.